Guess who's here? THEAR here. Welcome everyone. Today we're talking about 10 features that need to be added in UFC 5 regardless if it comes out this year or in 2022. Number 1, new developers. I'm only kidding.
Oh, you're a
comedian.
Or am I? Nah, number 1, Ultimate Team. Bring back the Ultimate Team from UFC 2. Simple as that. If EA want to make money from this mod, then all they have to do is make cosmetics, fighter taunts and fighters' signature moves available through packs, and I'm sure people will pay real money for this kind of stuff. But leave the Ultimate Team how you made it in UFC 2. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Leave it to the point where in UFC 2 where we could create our own fighters and go against other created fighters. Leave real fighters out of that mod. That's what ruined it in UFC 3. Copy and paste UFC 2's Ultimate Team into UFC 5 and leave it. Number 2, realistic damage. I sound like I got something in my throat. Hold on. Realistic damage. Oh, that sounds better. I've said something's wrong with me. I've said this before, but this just adds extra level of realism to the game. I want to see swelling, bruising, hematomas coming out of people's faces. I want to see this kind of damage in the game. We need some realistic damage instead of just a bit of blood here and a bit of blood there. I can go in 5-round wars with people and by the end of it, we both look like we just had sex. Not that we've been trying to turn each other's brains into mush, so something needs changing. Add realistic damage into the game. Number 3, more personality. Make each fighter feel more unique. Fighters who bring out flags should bring out flags in UFC 5. Dustin Poirier should have his blocking style in the game, right? Colby's antics should be in the game. In UFC 4, Colby walks to the center when his name's being called out and bows. This is not the Colby me and you know. Come on, let's be honest here. That might have been him before he turned heel, but the Colby we currently have will be screaming at the camera or smiling or still calling out the CEO of EPO, MARTY Fake Newsman. I'm sorry. If you love Colby or hate him, you cannot deny he has some of the best nicknames for fighters in the roster. Oh, come on, man.
Hey Google, who's the CEO of EPO?
Here's a summary from First Sports. MARTY NEWSMAN is the CEO of EPO.
Another thing would be, speaking of Usman, would be Usman's, Khabib's and Jones just crouching before the fight starts. This is something they do. I want to see that kind of detail in the game. It just adds that level of uniqueness to fighters. Number 4, engaging fans. I want fans to chant more in this game. I want them to actually boo fighters. Like I want them to boo Colby or boo the opposite fighter if you go into their country. I'm pretty sure they don't boo in UFC 4, so adding booing to the game, it would be just a lot better. They should clap when a fighter finally gets up from the ground, and the crowd should go absolutely berserk if someone gets dropped or is about to get finished. It should be hard to actually hear commentators when a knockdown or a big shot lands or someone gets stunned. I want that kind of engagement from fans. I want the fans to be more involved. Now I think you can adjust this in settings where you can make the crowd louder than the commentators, but I think this should be a feature in the game regardless, and it shouldn't rely on the player to change this. Number 5, speaking of commentary, is overlapping commentary. One thing I've noticed in UFC 4 is the lack of overlapping commentary, and what I mean by this is commentators screaming over the top of each other. So for example, let's say John Anik is saying the fight sponsor and then a fighter gets dropped, you should hear the other commentators scream over him and interrupt him and cut him out. This just adds that level of detail to the commentary and adds that extra level of realism to the game and makes the commentary more genuine. And if it's a crazy knockout like a head kick that just stiffens the other player, then there definitely should be overlapping commentary, and all 3 of them or all 2 of them should be screaming their heads off and not just taking turns who shouts next. So that's another feature. Number 6, Dr. Stoppages. This is a controversial one. People want it, people don't. People think it'll ruin the game. I want it. This feature is actually being considered for UFC 5 as we speak, but I honestly would love to see this feature. And you probably could make this feature based on probability, like for example there's 1% chance the fight is stopped due to an eye poke, or a 5% chance the fight is stopped due to a leg breaking if your opponent checks it well enough, like McGregor style, even though it didn't get checked. Let's debate that in the comments, shall we?
There was no check!
But imagine you're in a 5-round war, or just a war in general, and the fight is stopped due to a massive cut you have. Yeah, it would be disappointing and draining and very frustrating, but that would give you that authentic UFC emotion roller coaster experience that we all are very familiar with. Number 7 is similar to number 6, and that is referee stoppages. I would like to see the refs stop the fight if a fighter is taking too much damage. In UFC 4 you can be dropped like 50 times and still continue to fight, but in UFC 5 I would like the ref to step in and be like, bro, you've had enough, like Tony Ferguson style, where Herb Dean just went, bro, stop, you've had enough, bro, go home, that kind of thing. Or if you get stunned and your opponent keeps tagging you with clean shots and your head's banging all over the place, the ref should be able to stop it. Even if you're on your feet still, the ref should be like, yo, just stop, this is the end. Not all the time, obviously that would ruin the game, but that could work off probability as well, where the ref starts getting close to stopping the fight and you have to either move or they're going to stop the fight. I think that would be cool. So number 7, referee stoppages. Number 8 is stiff KOs. The big thing missing from UFC 4's KOs, which I do like, is stiff KOs. I want to crack, when I crack my opponent with a head kick sharper than a Gillette razor, I want my opponent to stiffen up, the toes to curl, eyes roll back in the skull, and finally collapse on the ground. I know it'd be brutal, but it's part of the fight business and it happens all the time. So it'd be cool to see in UFC 5 if we had stiff KOs where the opponent just completely stiffens and just collapses to the ground. Number 9 is journey mode. Abandon career mode because it's not working. Try a new formula because your last one's not working, as Hobson once said. Replace it with the journey mode from FIFA and allow us to still create our own characters, our own fighters, and boom, you've got a great game mode. Do it Saints Row style if you have to, where players can choose what voice they want the character to have, the fighter to have. It's not a difficult thing to do.
Oh, really?
I'm not a game developer, but I don't imagine it's the most impossible thing to do. But doing the journey mode just allows the door to be open on so many things, such as ESPN interviews, press conferences, weigh-ins, post-fight octagon interviews, and post-fight press conferences, that kind of thing. And this is what UFC fans want in a UFC game, so the journey mode might be the only way to that, because career mode is just not working. Number 10, the final one, and it's a little one, but it's advanced judges scorecards. Advanced judges scorecards. I think this is an important one. I want to be able to see the judges scorecards, not just overall score, not 50-48, 50-49, or 49-48. I don't want to see that kind of stuff. I want to see that kind of stuff, but I want to see more detail. I want it to go in incredibly descriptive detail.
Go into incredibly descriptive details of the story so we all know.
Like, I want to see each round scored, and I want to see which round was a 10-8 and which round was a 10-9, because allowing this stuff would allow you to understand which round you lost and why you lost that round, and you could figure out why you lost that round, and it could help EA actually improve how overall fights are scored in the future. For example, if people spot a pattern that control time is the most dominant factor when it comes to fights, then EA could adjust that and be like, okay, well, we can tone it down a little bit and not give so much priority to control time on the ground, and it could improve overall scoring in future bouts. So that kind of stuff I want to see. I want to see individual scoring for each round. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a fight, thought I've won, and it's been like, nah bro, you didn't win, even though I've got 10 minutes of control time on the ground and I smashed the face up. Nah bro, you didn't win. So individual scores for each round is what we need to see. Advanced judges scorecards, and tell us how you're scoring a fight. But they are 10 features I want to see in UFC 5. Let me know what features you want to see in UFC 5, and I'll put them in a part 2, because I'm going to do a part 2 to this. Thank you all for watching. You've been brilliant. You've all shut the hell up whilst I've been talking. Excellent. Everyone's been quiet. Thank you all for watching. Love you all, and I'm out of here. Peace.